Welcome back to Bust a Line, where we have a good time. We're your hosts,
Shaka.
and I'm Kiana. So today we're talking about Bridgerton, season 3. So come sit down, take a drink, take a snack, whatever it is, and tune in to what we have to say.
Yes, so today we're recapping Bridgerton season 3. Oh my god. I hope you guys watched. It was so good. Shonda did it again. We're gonna talk about our different views on it. But shout out to Shonda Rhimes. Oh my gosh. Shonda is so good. Yes,
Shonda
I agree.
is the GOAT.
I agree with that. I mean, she done so many good stuff. Scandal, #1. She was. I think that was the best thing she's done, right? Grey's Anatomy, but Scandal.
I have my thoughts on that, but that's for another day.
But I think Shonda is like really, really good. So shout out to her. Like she's amazing. So this is the third installment of the Bridgerton series. Even though there's been 4 Bridgerton shows out, Queen Charlotte's technically not a part of the Bridgerton series. The Bridgerton series followed the Bridgerton family and Lady Violet and all of her 8 kids and their stories in finding love, right?
So this season,
this season about Penelope and Colin. The first season was about Daphne and the Duke, and then the second season was Anthony, the first son, and Kate Cantony, and then this season was Colin and Penelope, right? So they're going through like each of the kids, but Colin is like the third child because he's C, right?
Yeah, he's C.
C. So they're all like ABC. That if you guys know. So this season is about Penelope, who is Lady Whistledown as well, and basically it's about her journey of finding love. I know a lot of people is like, there's so many things happening.
I'm like, her journey and 11 other characters.
Yes, exactly. A lot of people are like, it's not a lot of focus on it, but on that completely. But I think there's a lot of focus on it because Penelope's a complex character.
Yeah, she's very complex
to begin with, right?
Yeah. So let's just dive in.
Episode 1, what happened? Colin comes back. And how Colin comes back?
Well, we were like, first of all, who is that? Who is that person? You know, the camera is following them, looking at their, their physique. Because we already know one thing Bridgerton is going to do. Whenever it's the guy's time to shine, he's going to shine. Okay? Because like in season 1, no one was looking for Anthony. But in season 2, when we saw Anthony, we were like, hello?
Yes, exactly.
Excuse me?
Exactly.
It was so interesting to see, once we saw that he returned, and then we started seeing, like, little glimpses here and there. We're like, okay, Colin is on the scene. So it was nice to see him, he went away to spend some time traveling and stuff like that. Which, shout out to men back then. They got the privileges to do those kind of things. But yeah, he came back and all the ladies are swooning.
Yeah, exactly. He came back looking all grown up now, right? He's looking so good, and all the women are like fun all over him. And Penelope, she's always looking on the sidelines because she's Lady Whistledown, so she's always paying attention.
Insipid wallflower?
Insipid wallflower.
Yeah, so she's always on the wall.
Yes, exactly. So right now in Colin and Penelope, they're not friends. So they were friends all along, right? Like really close friends. Penelope's in love with Colin, right? She's always been
love. Would you say love?
I mean, she always wanted to be with him.
She was enamored by him, I would say. I don't know. I know he is.
That girl was obsessed. I would say obsessed with Colin. But
true, I would say
right, because in the last season, Colin told his friends that he would never date Penelope Bridgerton. So now in this season, she told him that she overheard him because she's treated him cold, and they always would write letters to each other and stuff like that. But now
so basically she's friend zoned.
Yeah, she's friend zoned, and she told him that she heard and everything. And so what happened? He promised her to be her pimp. No, I'm not joking. To help her to find a man, because Penelope decides that she wants to find a husband, right? Because she needs to get out of her home, and
Yeah,
she's
tired of Portia and the sisters.
And the sisters, step-sisters, right? And so he said, so because he did that to her, he promised that he would help her to find love. So the two of them came together and want to find love. So in this season, Eloise and Penelope are no longer friends, because she found out that Penelope is Lady Whistledown. And to save her in the last season, Penelope wrote some bad things about her and, revealing all these things. She was unchaperoned. That's like a big deal back then. So now they're like enemies. So, that's a whole big deal inside this show right now. But the main thing is the relationship that Colin and Penelope are developing by him training her. So one of the big things is that Penelope changed her entire wardrobe, right?
She looks good too. Like the first dress, she came out in her green, beautiful, with her red hair. Perfection. Yeah,
she looked really, really good. So even though she looked really good and she came out in that, really lovely.
Portia.
Portia's mean.
Portia, I be trying to root for you, Portia, but you are terrible many times.
Yes, I agree.
When she told her new look
was her amusement.
Like, how could you tell your daughter? And then she told her that, oh, I'm just glad you're gonna forever be by my side
to take care of me.
Damn. So you don't think Penelope is capable of finding a man?
No, and everybody treats Penelope really poorly. Like, what is that about? Like, I don't even know why they treat her like really, really bad. Because even though she came in with in all the heads turned, in her new dress and her new look and everything, Cressida tore her dress, like stepped in her dress and tore it, and then she had to
see witch.
Yeah,
like she should have been able to find a man by now, but here she is.
Exactly. So I mean, so I don't know why they're hating on Penelope. Right?
But why? Like,
I don't know
how she looks.
They make it seem like she seemed like an ogre, but Penelope is the most prettiest girl in there.
She's pretty.
Yeah. So that happened. So she had to leave because now it was rumored that Colin is helping Penelope to find someone, because he told Eloise, and Eloise was like, I hope she's not finding you as a mate. And he was like, no, I'm helping her to find a husband. And everyone found out because she was telling Cressida, and everyone found out.
I shout out to Cressida because I thought she would have been the one to snitch.
I mean, I shout out to Cressida because
she's trying to be better, so I give her some praise. But Eloise and her big mouth.
Yes, and then so Penelope left, and it was a whole big scandal. But what happened, Penelope? So the next day, Lady Whistledown had to write about herself. So Penelope had to write about herself, which I thought was pretty interesting. Yeah, because
she had to keep up the facade.
Yeah, and Eloise went and apologized to her or whatever. So I think, to me, hopefully that their relationship would get better.
They have to be,
Okay.
I hope so.
So the big thing in episode 3, after the dating, didn't go too well or whatever, because she's trying to find someone, and Colin is really helping her, but she's not as good at it, talking to people. But he's telling her to be herself.
That's my thing, Portia. What were you teaching these girls? None of them know how a baby is made. Like, I feel like, back in those days, when a woman, like, basically,
they didn't tell her nothing. It was season 1, Daphne didn't know anything either.
She didn't know anything either. But if your word is tied up in, finding a man to get married to and having kids, the least you can do is educate the girls, teach them with the little knowledge that you have. Because it's crazy.
Yeah, I think so. I think so indeed. I don't know. Portia, very focused on herself.
Yeah.
So, like, that's why she didn't, But, after, the whole thing blew up, Colin is trying to befriend Penelope. He came to her late at night to, talk to her, make sure she's okay. And what did she do? Ask him to kiss. Beg like a dog, y'all. Like, it was bad. Like, she was like, please, I will never get a kiss again. She could die. And I was like, girl, like, that is too extreme. Like, you begging that man for a kiss so bad. Like, so bad. Like, I'm like, no, I feel that was way too much. What do you think?
Honestly, it seems very on brand for Penelope.
Because I don't understand
It
why.
seems on brand for her.
I don't know why why her self-esteem is so low. Like,
Because no one looks at her.
because of those yellow dresses she was
even
wearing.
now she's getting attention from men. She doesn't even know how to communicate, how to do her little fan. She don't know how to bat her eye. She doesn't know anything. So I feel like, when you're overlooked for so long, now she don't know how to do it. So she feels, even though to me inside she knows she's a bomb, it's just like, if everyone around you is telling you you're not, you're going to start to believe them. So I feel like even though she begged him, I feel like she thought that's probably the closest she's going to get to actually having a kiss. I remember what followed before was, failed attempts at trying to get the attention of a man.
It's true, because nobody wanted to, like, talk to her now that she was trying to solicit Colin's help to help find a man. So, everybody was shunning her and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, so then they kissed. And I know it was pretty intense. I think it was pretty passionate. And you didn't think so? I think it was pretty passionate.
Sure. Just have her panting extremely hard and then it's passionate. Yes.
You read all these romance books. Isn't that what
I
you do?
I'm a romance reader, but I'm like, the panting was excessive. But I digress.
Anyway, so they kissed or whatever. Colin, went back home and he started having dreams about Penelope.
Yes.
Yeah, he started having really
Spicy
intense dreams about Penelope, and so I think that was...
He wouldn't, and what he said in season 2, that he would never dream of being dating with her when he was talking to his friend, and now his dreams are filled with Penelope. Yes. Oh, how the tables have turned.
Yes, exactly. So I think that was, that really lit a fire under Colin, because he was really like out of it.
Yeah, and he knows that when they were doing their trial practice, and he told her, like, just say whatever comes to your mind, like, don't think about it. And when she complimented his eyes, and he was like, oh!
Yes.
Penelope Penelope got it. She got the it factor. It's just that, obviously she's second guessing herself because of everyone around her. Even her own mom prefers her sisters over her, so obviously she's gonna think lowly of herself.
Yeah, so now she is out, and Lord Devlin, that is Penelope's new love interest.
I like Lord Devlin.
Yeah, so he's interested in Penelope. The two of them had good conversations. Everyone thinks he's weird because, like, he's the first vegan ever.
Right, the first vegan.
So everybody thinks he's weird or whatever, but he's really accomplished. He's a lord. So he has title. He
got some security.
Yeah, exactly. And he goes out, does a lot of stuff. However, Penelope has a rival because Cressida, who is now Eloise's best friend. We don't understand why, but it's now Eloise's best friend, is now wanting to date Lord Devlin as well. So now the two of them are battling it out to see who wins Lord Devlin's heart.
Yeah.
Right? So there's a really intense scene whereby Lord Devlin saved her from the balloon.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
I guess from the balloon, because it wasn't hot.
I don't know what that was.
Yeah. The first hot air balloon, I'm assuming.
Was it? They didn't have no fire.
There was no fire, but
what was making it fly? Just the wind? Anyway.
It was just literally going up and down, up and down. Yeah.
And he saved her, but Cressida was jealous, so she faked an injury as well. So all these things are going on, but there's a lot of additional stories caught up inside of this season, right? Part 1 of this season. So basically, Francesca, who is the third Bridgerton daughter, because Eloise, she's not even like trying to date.
Daphne, Eloise,
and then Francesca.
Yeah, so she's the 6th child.
Yeah, so she's trying to she's out now in society.
So
she's trying to date.
Debut.
Yeah, and so the queen is made her the diamond.
She's
that
the
confirmed?
sparkler of the season.
Yeah.
I think there's no diamond of the season, just a sparkler. So she's a sparkler of the season.
Yeah, so she wants to set up Francesca with this man.
Who I do not like.
Right, and I think they suit to some regard. I mean, they're both.
He seems pompous.
But she's her eyes is on somebody else's.
She's very introverted, dare I say autistic, but I'm not gonna diagnose her, But she's definitely introverted for a fact. She enjoys playing her music, being by
Yes.
herself, and the fact that she grew up in a household with so many kids, I can only imagine she probably felt overwhelmed a lot of times, especially if you're introverted. Because even the one guy was like, "Oh, he wants 8 kids." She was like, "I'll talk to you later. I have to go do something else." Like, no, you can tell, and she's not about that life. She likes her solitude, and you know, like even her going out into these spaces, a lot of times she has like Anthony, definitely like saving her from moments of like wanting to escape. So
Yeah.
her personality is very introverted, So that's interesting to see.
Yeah, so
'Cause
speaking of
Eloise is
Anthony,
much more-
Kate and Anthony left after episode 1,
Yes.
which got me very upset because that's why most of us tune in for Anthony's
But
action.
it's not their season.
I know, but we want to see them. When we have kids, I want to see
They're
more
gonna
of them.
Come back though, maybe.
I think I
With
saw
their
the
kids?
trailer. They saw that they were back.
Oh, good. I hope
But-
they're back. But I know it's not their season, but we would want to see them periodically, especially since Anthony.
Yeah, there's
is
not
the
even no
head of the
Daphne
house.
this season
Yeah.
either. So that sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of sucked. But I understand. It's said about Bridgerton. It's like they still should be in it.
Right, because they're siblings. Yeah.
Yeah. So Francesca has a new man, and it's a lot about them. I know a lot of people are like, "Whose season is it?" But
Yeah.
she's dating like 2 guys right now, and I think she's falling in love with this new guy. So I think that's pretty.
They're much
that's really
more
good.
suited. Like when he gave to her the sheet music. That was so sweet because she told him that the music would be better because once again she has an ear for music, so she's very to the point.
She's
And I
very
feel like they're
peculiar.
they're both peculiar. They're both very similar, and it's just so sweet to me. Like they have their moments where they just sit and not talk, but they be having the time of their life, and I love that. I love that for them.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good. So other surrounding stories is Benedict and this new older woman that he has. All of a sudden, I don't know what's happening with Benedict this season.
But I don't know why Benedict don't have a wife as yet.
Well, because they delayed his book. But technically, in the book, he wasn't married at this point in time. Colin did get married before Benedict.
Okay.
I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then we have Lady Danbury's brother came in. Which would have heard should be a love interest between
Him and
Violet.
Ooh,
And Lady Danbury hates her brother for whatever reason. We don't know it yet. So that's gonna be pretty interesting, right? So a lot of people are like, karma because of what Lady Danbury did to Violet's dad. If you guys watch
Is it
Queen
karma,
Charlotte,
though? Because I feel like this is fair play.
I don't know. That's what I heard. So, and also with Penelope and her sister and Portia, they need to have an heir. So Penelope's sisters are trying really hard to get pregnant and make babies for their husbands. So that's basically like the surrounding stories that are happening. Like a lot of surrounding stories. But back to Penelope and Colin. So in episode 4, it is Dar Devlin ask Portia for Penelope's hand in marriage, which she agrees to.
Of course.
And Penelope is like second guessing. So Portia tells her, "What are you waiting for? Love?" Ha ha ha. Cause Portia's like, "Girl, this is your only chance. Take this chance, right?" So, and
I was all for it. I was all for
Devlin.
her taking the chance. Like obviously, yes, we want her with Colin.
This man seems like a good man.
Yeah, I think.
But he's gonna be away for 3 years.
But the point is, she wants to be Lady Whistle down, right?
Yes.
So I feel like she needs that time where she can be and do that. Because the only other option is to tell whoever she's married to that she is this person, and
that's true.
And that is interesting because Colin is out.
Yes. So
Out
Colin
to
did
get her.
declare early in the episodes that if he ever finds who that lady was down is, they're gonna pay, right? So that's gonna be a huge deal.
That's gonna be a huge deal because, yeah. So I feel like because. And I think Lord Devlin was right that he has his own interest. He's looking for a wife.
So they're a better match.
So they were suited. But the problem is Penelope wants
love. Because she's always been in love with Colin.
Eventually, yeah, for it to grow into love. And I feel like if he could have told her yes, I could give you that eventually, she would have been fine. But the fact that he's like, I don't know, maybe one day, like his passions are other ways, that is hard. And I don't blame her.
Yeah, but I mean, given her situation. Anyway, so in the episode, she's about to be proposed. Lady Bridgerton, Violet told, because Colin is so consumed now, he's so obsessed in love with Penelope, seeing that she moves on with Lord Devlin, and he hasn't confessed his love, so I don't know why he's so like obsessed. But Violet told him, well, Penelope's going to be engaged tonight, which I love. Lady Bridgerton, she's such an amazing mother. I feel like she's
Shout
like
out to Violet.
She's like the best in here.
Portia, you can learn
a lot
too.
Exactly. You can imagine them as in-laws. Oh my God, this is going to be such a mess. Anyway, so Colin then shows up to the event, and whilst Penelope and Lord Devlin is dancing, and and he interrupts them. He was like, "Excuse me, could you believe it?
The scandal! Oh, escándalo!"
Right? So I cannot believe that he did that. And so Lord Devlin walks away, and Colin and Penelope started to dance, and she was like, "What are you doing? Like, why are you here?" And he's like panting heavily. Talking about panting, he was panting heavily in that episode.
What's up with them? You guys have asthma? You need an inhaler?
Anyway, as soon as Lord Devlin left, Cressida swoops in to get her chance, because she had her own story happening, guys. Like her dad's promising to marry off the old man, and she don't want to do that. But I mean, she's her third year out. Like she needs to.
I feel like Cressida's attitude is the reason why she's still on the market.
Correct.
Because there's no reason for her. I mean, her hairstyles could be better too. But
lay her hair down a bit.
Yeah,
she looks like the lady from
looks like she belongs to in Hunger Games. Like
in the Hunger Games.
Her outfits look very Hunger Game-esque. So.
Yes, that's true. So after the dance is over, Penelope tells Colin he's ruined everything, and she left.
Yes.
And Colin runs behind the carriage.
Scandalous once again.
He's running behind the carriage, which I think was pretty romantic, because he's like running after his love, runs behind the carriage, got in the carriage, and he was like, "Did Lord Devlin propose to you? Did Lord Devlin?" And she was like, "Bro, how is this your business?"
Yes.
Right? So I think, Penelope's mad. Like, she's super upset because he ruined her chance of marriage, because Lord Devlin told her before, he's like, "Listen, I'm not getting into this mess."
Yes.
Clearly you think that Colin is in love with you, and I don't want to be a part of this, right? So she told him, she said, Lord Devlin said that he thinks you're in love with me, and he's like, "That's preposterous." And I'm like, girl, do you see what's happening in front of you? Clearly this man is in love with you. Why are you putting yourself down?
Self-esteem is low. She don't believe.
Oh my God, it's too low.
She don't believe that it could be real, that it could be reciprocated. He told his friends, like, I wouldn't want to hear anything he has to say either. I wouldn't believe him, because you told your friend you would never date me.
That's true. And in this season, y'all, Colin was getting it on with other people.
Yes, he's having menage a trois, and
he did a lot. I thought Anthony was doing a lot. Benedict was doing a lot, but Colin did a lot. And he said, you know what? He realized that he doesn't want to be this kind of like guy. He thought that that's what he needed to be. That's what society needed him to be.
When he asked his friends when they were at the club, and they were like talking about why are we so cavalier about the stuff that you actually care about. Like, if you're supposed to find a wife, why are you so treating it so casually? And he's like, that's supposed to be something you were so pressed about because it's something so important. And it's true, because once again, even though back in those days a man needed a wife to help him with his status and all that stuff, they still treated women like whatever. But you needed her to bring forward a hair for you. So Colin, you got points for that.
Yeah, that's true, and I really love that. So in the carriage, he Penelope's asking him like, why is he doing this or whatever, and he was like, he wants to be more than friends. So he finally confesses his love in episode 4, and this is the last episode of the part 1, of course. And but Penelope was like, "Oh no, but we're friends." I know that's what she said at the beginning, but then she was like, "But I want more as well," and obviously they kissed passionately.
More heavy panting.
A lot of heavy panting. They did some other stuff in the carriage. Finally, they were together.
On friend zone, like, that's a big moment.
Exactly, and they're in the carriage, in a moving carriage, y'all. It's like the first one.
And it was getting spicy. Like, my prediction was, low-key, that him and Penelope would have had to do and she would have gotten pregnant, and that's how they would have ended up getting married.
He cannot have another Miss Thompson on his hands. I mean, technically, it wasn't his baby, but
it wasn't his baby.
But that would have been again. No, I think that would have been a bit too much. So, so at the end, the carriage finally arrives at the Bridgerton house, and they're busy doing their do. And Penelope was like, "Oh, they hit on the door and like, you guys are here," and they laughed because Colin was like, They couldn't continue driving.
Driving fast.
It was so funny.
He was driving.
The two of them, they laughed. I thought that was such a cute moment.
That was. But the biggest shocker was like him telling her to go inside. And I was like, yes, see, my prediction was right. They're going inside. But then she's like, no, your family's going to see me. And then what he said, Penelope.
Bridgerton. No, Penelope Fennerton. My bad.
Penelope Fennerton.
She called me Bridgerton.
Are you going to marry me or what? Or something like that.
Oh, yeah, he's going to marry me or not.
Yeah. And I'm like...
And that's how it ended. She didn't even have a chance to say yes or no.
Yeah. She's going to say yes.
I mean, obviously
even though,
she's going to say yes.
In the preview, Eloise is like, B, you got until midnight, Cinderella, to tell my brother the truth because
your lady was
you're not going to be marrying my brother under false pretense. And you know what? Eloise is right.
I mean, Eloise, forgive Penelope, please. Because, come on.
No,
this girl has finally gotten everything she's ever wanted.
But she also needs to own up for her actions as well. Even though...
What do you mean? She has to write about her own self. I feel I own up enough action.
Even though she
saved Colin from Miss Thompson.
She talked a lot of crap about other people.
She did talk about Colin at the beginning of the season too.
Yes.
Because she was upset with him.
Yes, Eloise is very reactive. Like the minute, not Eloise, I'm sorry. Penelope is very reactive.
She's reactive too.
True. That's why they're good. They're used to be good friends. But as soon as Penelope is upset, she runs home to that pen. Like, girl, take a minute, take a breath.
The way the Ton deals with Penelope, she is right to be Lady Whistledown. Cressida had no right to rip her dress. Agreed. They didn't have a right the way they talk about her. So I pro Lady Whistledown. Write about them, girl. Write about them because they're evil to you.
I feel like that is true, but also Penelope can work on her.
Well, she needs to get rid of being, because no way, I don't know what she's going to do, because in the trailer it shows that, Eloise gave her an out, like she has to say something.
Yeah.
And then,
first of all, Eloise is a good friend, because I was telling my brother.
I was snitching ASAP.
I'll be like, bro, let me tell you.
Immediately I was snitching. Immediately. I'll be like.
I was telling my brother. But
I was telling my family. Because everybody's upset with why, Colin's upset with her for not being friends with Penelope anymore.
Yeah.
So I would let him know, like, this is what's happening.
Yeah. So that is going to be interesting to see because Colin is out for Lady Whistledown because he's like, he hates her. She's going to get it. I don't know how they're going to get it. So my prediction, I'm still going to hold on to. She's going to get pregnant somehow. And he has no other choice but to marry her.
Okay, well, I don't know if that's gonna happen. In the trailer, it shows that there's a reward out to find out who Lady Whistledown is. So everybody's trying to find out who she is. So I think that the time is of the essence here. She needs to run to the altar, get married before it's released that she is Lady Whistledown. I think that's the only way she can potentially trap Colin. It doesn't have to be a trap situation. He's in love with her. But that is unforgivable. That is what you think. Is it unforgivable?
I feel like he needs to be trapped. That's the only way.
I know, but it's not fair. That boy didn't do anything. He deserved pure love. Miss Thompson tried to trap him. No, Penelope's going to trap him. That boy deserves pure love.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's fair.
Yeah. It's not fair, but it's possible. That's what's going to happen.
I hope that Penelope does find true love and that Colin forgives her, and Eloise, get over this. My God, I'm sorry.
Get over it. She talked horrible about Eloise in the
She did it to save her because the queen thought it was her. Remember?
That would be perfect. Let the queen think it's Eloise, and then they.
Why? Then it would have jailed Eloise. I don't know what.
They would have found no evidence.
Girl, what do you think this is? Really? Okay.
Yeah, they would have found no evidence.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well. Let's see how part 2 plays out. It's coming out almost in a month's time, which I think is way too far. They should not have split this show. I mean, especially at the end being so hot. So I think they should not have split it, but let's see what happens. Hopefully, Penelope and Colin gets their happy ending.
Okay, I hope so too.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I would rate it so far maybe a 3 out of 5. Like, it's not hidden as it usually would.
I agree.
So hopefully the other half is going to be much more entertaining.
Better. I think it's going to be more about Lady Whistledown, though. There's a lot. Too much is happening.
Yeah,
we can't even focus on the love. My gosh.
Yeah, too much is happening.
Yeah, season 2
and
always
then towards the end, they're like, oh, let's rush it and put it together. Like, no. We want to see.
Yes, give Francesca her season.
Yeah, we want to. But from my understanding, Francesca's season is that she's gonna marry this guy, and then she's gonna be a widow or something. I don't know.
Spoiler alert for person who read the books.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, that's
I've read parts of the books.
But I'm interested to see what's happening. So yeah, definitely, if you enjoyed this, give us a thumbs up. Please share, subscribe to our channel. We do have a podcast called Lyman and Healing Podcast, so be sure to check that out. Tell a friend and tell a friend to come and check us out as well. We thank you for watching. Until the next time, remember to
Bust a line, bust a line. See you next time.